Hello, here is Kramer's Corner with an update on the so-called Magnificent Seven. Some of them are not so magnificent anymore, and that's what we're going to have a look at. Here we have Alphabet, the C share, broken below 136.85 this morning, or this morning in US, this afternoon here in Europe, has confirmed the downtrend, negative RSI sentiment. Likely to test the support at 130 at the moment here in the next couple of days. At the moment we are testing the 200 moving average. That is likely to be broken within the next couple of days, I would say. Also looking at the weekly, we can see it's broken below its lower rising, fairly steep rising trend line here on the weekly chart, and we could see a move lower. So really some selling off here in Alphabet at the moment. To reverse this bearish picture, or this negative picture, it actually needs to break back above, and we can move that one up there so we can actually easily see it has to close above 146.12, and there's nothing indicating that at the moment. Looking at Amazon, Amazon is looking fairly strong. It did perform a gap here a few weeks ago. That is that needs to be closed for Amazon to indicate that the uptrend has reversed. But for now, we are ticking higher today, and there is room up to previous all-time highs just below 190 here at we saw back here in 2021. So fairly strong uptrend for Amazon at the moment. Apple, on the other hand, doesn't look too good. After closing a lower Friday just below the 180 level and following through this morning here in US, and there's not really any support until around 167 around this level. These lows here from October, November last year, you can see RSI below the 40 level. Strong negative sentiment short term. On the medium term, on the weekly chart, we can also see it's below the 55 moving average. Still positive sentiment, but if it does close below 40, well, then there we will see a sell-off down to around the 165, 166, 67 here, and that looks fairly heavy at the moment. To demolish, or at least pause the picture a little bit, or this downtrend, a close back above 180, but it will only pause it. We are in a confirmed downtrend. It really needs to close back above, well, I would say, even if you go up above 185, we'll still be in wait and see mode then, with potential to move higher. But as we can see, 55 moving average coming down, 100 starts dropping, 200 flat here. So if we on the next few days or weeks see the 55 and 100 moving average crossing each other and they're all declining, well, then it doesn't look good for Apple. Meta platforms, or former Facebook, that is a little bit more positive from these guys at the moment, still riding maybe the AI thing, I don't know, but above 500 or hovering around 500, this is the 453 support. If we close below that, then certainly we could see market will try to close the gap, that massive gap here from a few weeks ago, but that's really what's needed to turn this picture really bleak, and at the moment doesn't look like it. We have reached the 138.2 projection of the entire really strong downtrend here we saw back in 2021-22, so really strong uptrend now here, and we actually above it. Where do we have the next level? 161.8 at 567. I'm not saying we will reach that just yet, but we are on the way here. But we could see a little bit of a short-term correction in coming days, where I actually do expect we'll see S&P 500 being a little bit weak, but for now we are still in an uptrend that is intact. Microsoft also riding the AI wave, hasn't made a new high, but is still above the 397. 397 is the level to look out for. If it closes below 397, well, then we can see a correction taking it down to between 380, maybe 365, 360-ish level down here, where there's some strong support. But for now, we are still in an uptrend, stalling a little bit, and we can see here how it touched the upper rising trend line. It's not that strong, it's merely just a guideline, really. But on the weekly, we can also see, well, we are positive sentiment. There's no divergence. It did form a higher high, so we could see Microsoft moving higher in coming weeks. But again, look out for the 397 level. Nvidia really pushing the market higher here with a new jump today. Really strong move. And if you read my latest update, there are some indicator out there that's saying we could reach 1,000, and it's not unlikely. We are in what we call FOMO mode at the moment, fear of missing out. It's a massive bubble in Nvidia, but bubbles can go on for quite some time. It will implode eventually. It wouldn't like go bust or anything, but we will see a downturn eventually. But it's just a question about when. But for now, we are moving higher highs and higher lows, and gapping higher. Well, there is some divergence indicating the uptrend is a little bit to the weak side, but we are moving higher. But what is interesting, if we add the volume, you can see volume has dropped over the past week or so, and that's a little bit of a warning sign really for the sustainability of this uptrend. But again, ride the trend, and if you're a shareholder, I would hold on to it for now. So yeah, that's where we are. Finally, Tesla this morning here, we can see it couldn't close the gap. It touched almost, just the lower part of, the lower part of the upper part, so to speak. We can see if we just move down here and say, okay, we also take into account the shadows there, but it didn't close above, and it couldn't close above the real closing price gap or the body gap. So selling pressure has resumed. And if we see the RSI back below 40, then it's confirmed. We are still in a negative sentiment. There was divergence, and that's why we saw this bounce here. But it seems like if we close below the 195, well, then we are definitely back in resuming downtrend, and close below 40 on the RSI will only add to that picture, and then we can see sell off in the coming days and weeks towards 180, and possibly also lower towards the 155, 160 level. Alright, that's all for today. That was just a quick walkthrough of the so-called Magnificent 7. Some are not that magnificent anymore, but we'll see about that in the coming days and weeks. Have a nice day. Happy trading and investing.